A question people often ask is, do I need a financial advisor? Can I save on the cost of advice and work it out myself? Well, you can do it yourself, but there are substantial advantages to using a financial advisor. Philip Courtenay is an expert in behavioural finance.
What we tend to find with non-advised individuals is they often take less risk. They often have a lower perceived sense of financial well-being as well. So they feel less in control, they feel less clear about their financial situation, their future financial prospects, and they feel more anxious often because they don't have that person to say, you're doing the right thing, or here's what the future could look like. You're in control and you're doing a good job financially. So there are kind of traditional rational reasons for engaging with an advisor, and there are also emotional reasons for doing so, and I think they're both very important.
What some people choose to do is a compromise. They'll hire an advisor on an ad hoc basis for advice, say, on tax or estate planning, but they'll manage their portfolio themselves. Again, that's perfectly feasible, but it too is a risk.
Managing your own money can mean such different things to so many people. And I interview lots of financial consumers, just lay people, advised or not advised, and they say, I manage all my investments. And what they really mean is they put the money in the bank. And I could ask the question, like, do you know how much you have in your pension pot, for example? And often they won't be clear on that. So I wouldn't perceive that as managing money. That is, the money isn't managed, but it doesn't mean the individual's managing it themselves. Some others dabble in the stock market. They might have an online account. They might do bits and bobs with. And I'm not suggesting that's the wrong way to do it at all. I think there's a time and a place for that. If people invest in certain ways, often index funds, and look at the costs they're paying, do some due diligence, then they can often make good financial decisions, avoiding what the future might look like, avoiding those financial decisions, avoiding taking any risk is the biggest risk, in my opinion.
So how do you go about choosing a financial advisor? Well, for Philip Courtenay, there are two main things to look out for.
Trust is the key one, always. And for me, that would be absolutely fundamental. In any advised relationship, when we're talking about money or anything else, you need to be able to trust the person that's giving you advice. Credentials is a key one. We live in an age where you can get advice through TikTok and Instagram and all of these places that a regulated advisor would absolutely balk at and say that is not financial advice, but people think it is. So I would say make sure somebody's got the credentials first and foremost, and make sure you trust them. If you have those two things in place and you can have an open, honest relationship around what money really means to you, what's important to you, then you're probably onto something pretty good.
In short, you can manage without a financial advisor, but there are major drawbacks. If you can find an advisor with solid credentials and who you really trust, that generally is the best option.